Yo, what is going on, guys? It is non-reality, and in today's video I basically wanted to make a suck zerk like combo skill add-on skill guide for PvE for new players, because I've seen a lot of new suck zerks in like the Zerk Discord asking a lot of questions on like how to clear packs better and stuff like that. So I basically just wanted to go through, show you what I have and what I've been doing for like 500-600 hours of playing, which isn't a whole lot, but I basically only played Zerk, so I know the class pretty decently. First, let's get into skill add-ons, and I'll go into what skills you mainly want to use, since this kind of contributes to both. So first up, we have Beastly Wind Slash, and I'm using attack casting speed and critical hit damage. When you're playing Zerk, a lot of it is going to be critical hit rate and critical hit damage. You want your crit as high as possible. We're going to skip Fearsome Tyrant because the skill add-ons I'm using are like a half PvE, half PvP skill add-on. So if I were you and you were just doing PvE, I'd change out Fearsome Tyrant for like Weakling Hunt or something, because Weakling Hunt is really good at pulling packs, but we'll get into that when we start talking about what skills to use. We have Fierce Strike, which is your claw move, which is if you're in beast form, it's this one right here, that move. And you want to get critical hit rate on that, and I have all DP minus 15. Frenzy's Destroyer is your down LMB, this one. And that you want extra AP and casting speed. Next up, we have Predatory Hunt. This is your jump skill. When you go to start a pack, you can jump and then hold it again to do that little boom right there. And that you just want more critical hit rate, so you can have as much crit as possible. And then last is your Raging Thunder. This is your big damage move, and this I'm have minus 20 DP and critical hit damage. That's your spin. So let's get into what skills you're mainly going to use while you are grinding. So first up, one of the ones you're going to use are the Prime Beastly Wind Slash. This move gives extra AP, it also gives minus DP and a bunch of other stuff. It's also just a really good movement skill, and you're going to want to obviously grab Flow Windstorm. So when you grab Flow Windstorm, it makes it so you can do this, and as you notice, this is the AoE of the third smash right here. So this is basically just getting one of the combos while I'm on it. So if you hold down A, S, Shift, and RMB, so Shift and A or Shift and D gives you your dodge, and then if you do that while holding SRMB, which is your Beastly Wind Slash, you can basically chain Flow Windstorm permanently. And this is really good for one-shot areas such as Centaurs or Tashira Ruins, or anywhere that you would be one-shotting mobs at. Now, it does use up a lot of weapon power and some stamina. Stamina is not too important because you're not going to be spamming it the whole time. Like, you're going to spam it, you're going to miss a mob, maybe claw it a bit, and your stamina will go back up. But your weapon power will go down a bunch. Now, I have infinite mana pot, so it literally doesn't affect me at all. Like, I can spam it infinitely, and you'll see that it'll reach like 200, I think, and then it'll just go back up. Yeah, it just goes up to max. So if you want to use mana pots, you can do the same thing. Other than that, I just like flow, and then every like so often just do some claws, because claws give back like all of your weapon power in like 2 hits. So just use your claws to get back your weapon power, and then start doing it again. That is a really good like chain skill move to just kill mobs really fast. Next up, we have Prime Fierce Strikes, which is basically the claws that I've been using, which give you a lot of weapon power back. You have Prime Frenzy Destroyer. This is a good move because it gives you a bunch of AP. So this is one of the moves you're going to be using when you're going into spots that aren't one shots. You have Predatory Hunt, which is your crit rate hit move. And then you have your Prime Raging Thunder, which is the really big spin move. And then the rest of them are just kind of helpful skills. I don't really use Shift Q because you're not going to want to use your 100% Black Spirit Rage on Shift Q. You're going to want to use it on buffing yourself, which we'll get into. Absolute Beast Roar, don't really use. Absolute Wraith of Beast, don't really use. Absolute Ire of Beast, don't really use. None of them are, well, I guess this one's super armored, but I still don't really use it. But yeah, these two aren't super armored, don't use it. And then this is the new Bomb skill. It's honestly not too great because the animation kind of makes it so you can't do anything. So like if I'm like doing an attack, I have to like wait for the attack to be completely done, then I can do this, and then now I can attack again. It just is really slow, and also you'd have to turn around if you're going into a pack to kill it, so it's not a great move. Next up, let's talk about the Prime form. So we have Prime Beast form. That basically is just a buff that gets you into Prime Beast, and I like using it when I'm basically out of everything else. So if I'm out of Predatory Hunt, or if I'm using my like Z buff, sometimes in like History of Ruins, I'll pop my Z buff and my C buff at the same time just to get it out of the way, and then I'll start farming again. So we got Prime Ancient Wave. I don't really use this move for PvE unless I like miss, like if this mob was, if I was like farming a pack over here, and that mob's way over there, I'll just like hit it real quick just to get that little bit extra loop and not go out of my way with like claws or something. We have Prime Devastation. This is a pretty decent move. It does a okay amount of damage, so you can definitely use it. Because I do use it sometimes. And then obviously you have the Prime Unstoppable Beast. And then next up we have the secondary moves. Now the only one that's really important here is, well, I guess there's a couple that are important. You got Weakling Hunt, and in Weakling Hunt in beast form is basically your gatherer skill. You basically gather all the mobs together because it does go through mobs. So like if there's two packs you want to pull together, just Shift+F on both of them and you're good. Next up we have Prime Tackling Rock. This is going to be your main movement skill, so you're obviously going to Lava Piercer, Tackling Rock, and you can just spam Tackling Rock over and over. And it does not waste too much stamina. But that's only for like getting to pack in between like rooms or something. Your main thing you're going to want to do is like Lava Piercer into jump. So you can do that last little burst and get that crit rate. I don't really use Storming Beast at all. Don't really use Headbutt unless I'm doing some like movement tech, which isn't really necessary, but I'll still explain it just so you guys know. And then obviously we have Lava Piercer. Now I just want to touch on Rage Absorption real quick. I recommend going the crit rate one because you want your highest crit rate as possible. Higher crit rate means you're doing more damage, which is better than having AP. And that's basically that. Also for skill enhancements, the one that I use for farming is this one right here, Feral Rage. This is another spin move. I just like using this because like I don't really farm to min-max my hour. I farm just for fun, so I can kind of just pop this in the middle of a mob pack and like sit there for a couple seconds and let it die. But yeah, so I want to go over the movement tech real quick that you see a bunch of Zerkers doing videos. Now I want to state that I personally think that this movement tech isn't great because you can literally just Tackling Rock and it gets you just as far. People say that like, oh, you want to do it because you waste stamina doing Tackling Rock, but honestly I don't see too much of a difference. So let's show you how to do the movement tech real quick. So first you're going to want to do a Headbutt. After you do Headbutt, you click F. That will get you the Storming Beast. So normally Storming Beast is like this, but if you do it right after Headbutt, it does a little knee kick. And then after that you're going to want to double tap A or D to do a dodge, and that's basically it. So that's basically all you're doing. And then you can add in the flow. So like if you're going, so a lot of people you'll see at Centaurs in the movement videos, they'll like jump over, they'll do this, and then they'll Beastly Wind Slash, and then they'll go to the next pack, and then they'll Beastly Wind Slash again. It's a good movement and it's fun to do, but I think it's way too like tedious to do. I'd rather just run over with Lava Piercer or Tackling Rock because I'm not too sweaty on that. And okay, let's go over the buffs real quick just to get them out of the way, just so I can explain them better. So when you enter a pack that isn't a one-shot pack, now let's make that very clear. If you're doing a one-shot pack, you're literally just going to use Claws. You're going to use Flow Windstorm. You're going to use like, you can use the Frenzy Tyrant if you want. I don't recommend it though because it's like slow, and if you're doing one-shot packs, you really want to go fast. And then obviously some places you can literally just Weakling Hunt the whole time and you'll kill everything. But when you're getting into places like Star's End, History, or stuff like that, you're going to want to start buffing yourself up. So how do we do this? So let me get my cooldowns up. So some packs, when you go into History or something like Star's End, you're going to want to Lava Piercer into Prime Predator, and then do your Frenzy Destroyer, Claws, and then spin. This gives you literally every buff you want. I don't do that every time, obviously, because some places like History Runes, since I've been grinding there a lot, if I do that every single pack, I end up just over clearing the place. So a lot of the times I'll literally just jump in, claw, and then do my Raging Thunder, and that is good enough to clear most packs. But if you're a little bit lower AP, or you just want to be super efficient and wait for the mobs to respawn when you over clear, you can obviously do Frenzy Destroyer and so on. And then, like I said, I do just use Shift+X if my other spin is down, just because it's a decent move and you can move with it, so you can get behind your target and get the back attacks, because back attacks do a ton of damage. And then I'm just going to go over my consumables real quick, just so you know, but it is pretty simple. I bet everyone here knows this already. You go Simple Cron, you go Beast Drought, and then you obviously go either Vel's Heart or Destruction Spirit Rune based off of whatever you have. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. I'm gonna be making a few other videos coming up this month where I basically go to like every like end game, mid game spot that I can, at least with my AP and DP, and basically show you how I would clear the place. Obviously, like I said, I don't sweat in places. If you guys want me to like do half and half, let me know in the comments. If you want me to do like a chill rotation and then do like a sweaty rotation to see what you can do, I will do that if you guys want. But that's basically for the video, and keep in mind that I'm going to be doing those, so look out for them, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.